The shariram means this body, what we translate in English. Actually, it is a shrew word which keeps on decaying, which keeps on disintegrating. That is shariram. So the noun usually reveals the nature of the object. That noun itself So there are most of the words by the laws of Panini, certain suffixes and sometimes prefixes are added to derive a noun, proper noun. The noun, as I said, the noun which is used for a given object reveals the nature of the object also. If you happen to know the roots and if you happen to know derivatives of the words, it will tell you this is the nature. So the language still પહેલેથી કરી રાખો અત્યારે તમે કરો ચાલો Similarly, this word Upanishad is derived from the root sad. Sanskrit roots, or in English also, the word has many meanings. This sat root has three meanings. Avasadane, Visharane, Gati arthi. Three meanings. To avasadana means shithilikaranam, to loosen. And avasadana means to destroy. To loosen, to destroy, and to go. Gati means movement. It is three meanings. Avasadana, shithirane, shithilikarane, avasadane, gatyarthi. Now this word, sat verb, has two prefixes, upa and ni. Something is loosened, something is destroyed, and you are somewhere, you are going. Vidya of going somewhere, it is stopped. What is loosened? That is given by upa plus ni. The bondage is loosened. Samsara bandhanam is loosened. What is destroyed? Ignorance, self-ignorance is destroyed. And where is it that you go? You go to Brahman, means you know Brahman. In Shastra, the verbs implying movement of going are in a sense of knowing. There is no going. Why? Because what you want to achieve is you. And therefore, the going is said figuratively. Just as the very freedom is figurative. You are already free. Even when you say, I am bound, you are already free. What is bondage? Subjectivity is bondage. What is shithilikaranam? Loosening of the bondage. Or you can say relative freedom from bondage. That is objectivity. What is objectivity? In a popular terms, it is called as vairagya. Please understand, Vairagya is not an action. Vairagya is the way you look at the things. That Vairagya is growth. Vairagya is wisdom. Vairagya is maturation. What kind of wisdom? What kind of maturation? What kind of growth? We usually impute subjective values on things, beings, and situations. In Gitaji's language, it is called ragadvesha. That is subjectivity. Subjectivity in terms of I like this. Subjectivity in terms of I am happy with this, or I shall become happy. I shall gain some fulfillment. This is all subjectivity. Exactly like a child. All of us must have played with the balloons. But we had subjectivity towards balloons that it will give me happiness. Might have played with the marbles. There was subjectivity. More marbles I have, more richer I am. There was a value. Certain games. If I win, then I am happy. If I am lose, then I am unhappy. And nobody wants to become unhappy. Therefore, all the time I should win. And when the situation, and nobody can win all the time, and the situation go against me, I will cut the corner. Fortunately, as a child, I played with my grandpa who allowed it. When you grow up, you can't do that. Referee is there, umpire is there. So it doesn't work that way. That is subjectivity. Small thing. At each stage of life, we keep on imputing subjectivity on objects, people, beings, situation, etc. Subjectivity in terms of what I should be doing. Subjectivity in terms of what is successful living. Subjectivity in terms of what will enhance my self-esteem. These are all subjective values. Each one has a picture of an ideal I. I that is acceptable to me. I that gives me self-satisfaction. Some picture. Someone may have a picture that if I have so much of money, then I am successful. There are certain common elements. Money, but how much is subjective. Name and fame is universal ideal. My name appeared in a TV. I was called for this interview, etc., etc. I have so many followers on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, X. These are all subjective standards. That is successful I. And the most unfortunate aspect of it is, by the time you achieve that target, you yourself further enhance the target. The bar is put up. I didn't have money, thought if I have some 100,000 rupees, I will be happy. You start getting 100,000, now the requirement is 10,000. Then the requirement is 100,000. It goes on all the time. That is true with Vishayas, situations, people, relationship, yashaha, name and fame, everything. This subjectivity is bondage. Shithilikaranam means what? Loosening of the bondage means what? Vairagya means what? To understand that none of these achievements will give me permanent happiness that I want. None of this will give me fullness, completeness that I am seeking through these achievements. They may be required to conduct myself. It is one thing to have that, because you have to transact in the world as long as you are alive. And given your position in the society, in the family, whatever, you require certain means to do the job. You require certain means to survive. But that is one thing to look upon them as incidental requirement. That is a vairagya. But to look upon them as ultimate requirement, that is raga. That is bondage. That is the problem. In fact, what makes us unhappy is not absence or presence of a given vastu or given person. More often than not, it is our subjective value that makes us happy and unhappy. To the extent you appreciate, as Pujya Swamiji often said, what is vairagya? Very loaded definition. To know that there is no connection between what I want and what I am doing. That's vairagya. As a child, I wanted toys and the games and the dolls to feel happy. There is no connection. You may feel happy, but that is happiness is because of subjectivity. I wanted permanent happiness. Nothing can give you permanent happiness. Appreciate that. So, in a technical language, Sanskrit language, they are not paramartha sadhanani. They are not moksha sadhana. They are only vyavhara sadhana. They are useful for transaction. In other words, they have only transactional reality, not absolute reality. Appreciate this fact. And nothing wrong in using or having. Presence of objects, presence of some people in life and relations doesn't mean that the person is ragi, is attached or is bound. An absence of everything doesn't mean the person is a dispassionate, is a virakta. You may have things, you may or may not have money. What is important that money will not make me ultimately happy. That's all you have to appreciate. Total happiness I cannot get. You require some money for transaction, have it. Money per se or any given object per se is not bad, is not harmful. It is the way you look at it, way you appreciate it is harmful. To you, not to others. There are certain objective realities. True, certain food is harmful to your body, that is okay. You may not eat. Certain lifestyle is harmful to you, that is okay. But then, more often than not, this subjective imputation of given value of being happy through this is raga. So, this vidya taught in Upanishad loosens those bondages in terms of subjectivity, values. Well, as I repeat, our subjectivity towards myself also. What is my definition of successful living? Hey, this much money, this much connection, these parties and this, then it changes. Age-wise also it keeps on changing. Secondly, destroys. This subjectivity is basically born out of self-ignorance. The fundamental problem of a human being is self-ignorance. And the self-ignorance caused by self-awareness, self-judgment. This gift of Ishvara in terms of buddhi is a double-edged weapon. We are gifted with this special instrument called buddhi. Capacity to know, to think, to project, to analyze, to infer, all this is because of buddhi. You can visualize in 3 dimensions. That is also because of buddhi. That is there, and you become aware of the things. And the same buddhi, the same buddhi has jignasa, desire to know. It's a very beautiful thing, a unique gift, and we have taken it for granted. Humanity, if you look at the Darwinian theory, our ancestors were like those animals in the jungle. Fact that we have evolved to this level, fact that we have come to artificial intelligence, is just because of buddhi. We became aware of the things what is outside, analyzed, inferred, and draw the judgment, draw the knowledge. And we learned also through buddhi. The science made some discoveries, but the same buddhi through technology converted that knowledge into comfortable life, into safe life, safe living compared to them. All this is because of buddhi. That buddhi which is aware about the world outside and draws judgment about the world is aware about oneself also. Self-consciousness, self-awareness is as though complete in a human being. These animals, they are not aware about their pedigree. They don't know, the dog doesn't know I am Labrador or German Shepherd or Alsatian or Pomeranian, doesn't know. And if you have a puppy gifted to you by your friend who lives just a few blocks away, that puppy doesn't know my mother is only a few blocks away. And every day afternoon, let me go and see my mom. But daughter-in-law will go every day. She will go to mother and every day will talk on the phone or what. Doesn't have awareness. Their self-awareness seems to be limited to self-protection and self-propagation. They just know from whom to be afraid of. They just know what to eat and what not to eat. That's all. It takes so much of time to train them, and that too few of them only are trainable in certain way. You can train a dog, but can't train a donkey. Have you ever seen? You can train a horse, but not donkey. They can't be trained. Whereas with this buddhi, there is self-awareness about myself. And that awareness has led to some self-judgment, self-conclusion. Who am I? There is some conclusion. And that conclusion again is subjective. There is some universality in terms of sex, I am man or woman, etc. But then, again subjectivity, I am Indian, American, African, Japanese, etc. But within that also I belong to this state. Again in that I belong to this class. There is subjectivity. But one universality is there, that is, I am incomplete. I am unhappy. There is a self-judgment. Without money, incomplete. With money also, incomplete. In other words, dissatisfied self. Discontent self. With my own body also. Though there are many chances to repair it in certain way. But looking at a mirror only the problem starts. My forehead is not like this, this brow is not like this, these eye hairs are not that. All discontent. As Puja Swami Dayanji had very aptly observed, this Miss Universe contest, the lady is declared, you are Miss World or Miss, there are now so many Miss, you are this. He said, you always look at their expression. She just does like this and my God, she can't believe. She can't believe that I am the one. And having had that, you are declared you are the most beautiful in the whole world. Next day onwards, she should not use any cosmetics because you are most beautiful. Already declared. That too in presence of so-called qualified jury across the world. There who know some qualification, parameters to decide. But next day onwards, she will do more makeup. Doesn't accept. In spite of being declared the most beautiful woman on the earth at this moment, she is dissatisfied with her own look. Has to change the hairstyle, and change makeup colors and whatnot. There is a whole billions of dollars of industry. That conclusion is an expression of self-ignorance. I am dissatisfied. This sense, please understand, centered on I. It is I who is unhappy. It is I who is dissatisfied. It is I who is discontent. This sense or self-awareness about me is not acceptable to myself. When someone says, I don't like my hair, that means I am dissatisfied with reference to hair. I am discontent with reference to hair. I don't like the color of my skin. The I is dissatisfied. This sense of dissatisfaction centered on I is caused by imputing I on the body-mind complex. Rather than saying, I am not a bit handsome, I am ugly, the right statement should be, with reference to my face, I don't look handsome. That's all. When in our Shastric language, when the I identifies with the body-mind complex, that there is a sense of incompleteness. sense of dissatisfaction, sense of being unhappy. When you ask somebody, why are you unhappy? Ultimately it will come here. The fellow is told, why are you unhappy? You see, my son is useless. He doesn't study well. I am such a qualified person, gold medalist. I have this many academic qualification, and that fellow doesn't even do his graduation. Well, that means you are dissatisfied as a father. Yes, yes. But by what? Through what you became father? Through body. You are not the father. With reference to body, you are a father. Since I own this body, I possess this body, that is also incidental. As long as this janma is there, you have this body. So the fatherhood is incidental. So I am incidentally unhappy. That's a right statement. And you don't become unhappy. Incidentally, this is not okay. That's all. So whole problem is centered on this body-mind complex. Identification with physio-psycho-complex. I sense in this. This sense being against my nature, by nature I am Purna. The self is complete. Self is Ananda. Chidananda Rupaha Shivo. I am Ananda. Self is full. Satyam Gnanam Anantam. That is my nature. That is my Swarupa. Then how come I don't feel happy? That is the problem. The only answer is self-ignorance. The very question is illegitimate. If I am Ananda, why do I feel unhappy? That is not I have to answer, you have to answer. I am telling you, you are Ananda and you feel unhappy. Only answer is because of self-ignorance. So the fundamental problem of human being, of self-dissatisfaction, self-discontentment, sense of being unhappy is caused by self-ignorance. To remove that self-ignorance, to grow out of self-ignorance, or rather would be to to grow out of sense of incompleteness, there is constant compulsive pursuit to possess something or to give up something. Pravrutti or nivrutti. It is going on. Constant compulsion. Right from childhood. And that pravrutti, nivrutti is directed by subjective values. What do I possess? What would I want? And what is it that I would want to give up is guided by your subjective. So that removal of self-ignorance, the body of knowledge that addresses this ignorance. What ignorance? Ignorance about the self. And what is an ignorance is not tangible per se, but its expression is tangible. The sense of being limited, sense of being incomplete, the sense that I am unhappy. That is removed, that is destroyed, that is called avasadhanam of ignorance. And when that ignorance is destroyed or removed, right word is removed, then you own up your true nature, that is Ananda, that is fullness, that is Sukha, that is completeness. And all that is called as Brahman, fullness. The very meaning of the word Brahman is fullness. Brahma Gamayati. It takes you to Brahman. As I said, going in the Shastra, whenever it is used, is in a sense of knowing. It is a figurative use. Why? In ignorance, you always felt that fullness or happiness is away from me and I have to gain it. I have to achieve it. Since that misconception is there, that is accepted for the time being, and with reference to that misconception it is told, you will reach Brahman. As such, there is no reaching. As such, there is no going. Yad gatvana nivartante tad dhama paramam. Not understanding this, many acharyas and many sampradayas, they think that we have to literally go. I heard one Swami in a big gathering. I was as a guest of honor invited. Some project got completed, and he said, the Guru, Vachanam, Shraddha, that is the typical asset of Hindus. I am promising you, all those who have done seva to this project, for them Vimanam will come. Plane. When you die, the plane will come to take you to Dham. Bhagavan. I said, how many sorties he will have? And then he said, so many lakh people have worked for this project. So many thousand full-time and so many part-time and so many give 3 months and 6 months. The whole total summation was more than 10 lakhs people have contributed. I mean 10 lakh times he has to come. That Viman, because they are not going to die at the same time. Or Bhagavan will have to keep fleet of Vimanas, planes, like Etihad Airlines, They have some 800 planes. They are huge airlines. So that Vaikuntha Airlines, Thakurji Airlines must have a fleet of Vimanas and make trip all and they claimed also, devotees all over the world, from Africa and Europe continent and North American continent, Asia, everywhere people have come. So every time Bhagavan has to issue a boarding pass, bring only this fellow who was connected to this project. Again, same thing. Most of the religion promises completeness or happiness hereafter. You can't make it here, have it here. And there is a beautiful picture. Like before the advent of this technology of TV and 3G and 4G and 5G business, when you guys must have gone to US, people didn't know what is America. And when you write a letter, only aerogram letter was there, and you write it used to reach here after 15 days. Minimum 15 to 20 days. And when they come, people would want to know how is America. So through some knowledge, people thought if I go to America, I'll be happy forever. Like that story, Prince and princess got married and then became happy forever. That is never. Never become happy. And they became complete. It is never like this modern guys proposing on Valentine's Day. I am incomplete without you. Murkha Shiromani. You are incomplete, she is more incomplete. Two incomplete cannot make one complete. Simple mathematics, two finite things cannot create infinity. So she would add to your incompleteness. Don't go for it, but fellow, that is called raga, seeking fullness in something. So also they think if I go to US, I will become happy forever. So also going to Loka. you just need when human mind to become unhappy. Anywhere. When you see some buffalo, especially in India, cows and buffalo sitting on the road and cuddling the food, in spite of all traffic, they are in Brahmananda. they are Siddha Prajna, Mati Stira. And you feel, wow, what a happy. Just put a human mind in her mind, in body, she will be happy. You need human mind. So having gone to heaven also the same problems. Anger and jealousy and frustration, that's what our stories depict. That way Indian vision of Swarga is better. The king of heaven is also shown incomplete. Indra, always going for some expedition to steal the horses. That's all his business is. And there is nothing to do, then only he has time to enjoy. Poor fellow. And there are aggression from the Rakshasas all the time. And they are like Pakistanis to Indian border. Every day you have to be on guard. You can't relax. What's the use of being in heaven? So they have all imagination. Vimanam will come. So what? You may go in a business class or first class. So what? You may go in a chartered plane, but that mind is same. So it is not going. Please understand. When it is said going, you thought you are away from it. General belief is, at least I am away from God. You are the one, Tattvamasi. You are not away, it is you. Like that famous shloka of Hanumanji. Deha buddhyatu dasosmi. From the body standpoint of view, I am dasa. Jiva buddhyatvad amshaka. From the standpoint of individuality, I am part of it. From the standpoint of the self, atma buddhya tvamevaha. You are me. That is the truth. You have to discover. So there is no going involved. It is only with reference to that notion of being away. It is figuratively said, you will go. Like somebody seeing in a dream, that fellow has been jailed for whatever reason, his imagination, and wakes up. How I am released from jail. There was no bond, you were never in jail. Where is the question of release? You were never away. Where is the question of going? So, Brahma gamayati, arthat Brahma janati. Fellow knows Brahma. All this Upanishad is a body of the word which does this. When you study, ultimately it makes you or helps you to discover, own up that you are Brahman. Then why so many? Two things. Their names, they are not indicative of different knowledge. Ishavasya Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, Kathopanishad. this body of the words appear in different sections of different Vedas. Therefore, there are many. And the name is given also because of for no reason. Kena Upanishad is given Kena because the very first word of that set of mantras is Kene Shitam Patati Preshit. Similarly, Ishavasya Upanishad, that set of those 18 mantras, the first mantra is Ishavasya, therefore given Isha. This is Katha Upanishad because it appears in Katha Shaka, Katha branch of that Veda, Yajurveda, therefore it is called Katha Upanishad. And since all of them reveal fullness, Purnatvam, they all talk of fullness. So there is no major Upanishad and minor Upanishad. Understand? All are same. Because revelation is same. Somehow this word has become popular, major Upanishads and minor Upanishads. Especially somebody printed translation and became popular. There is no major minor. Because you cannot distinguish between two infinity, major infinity and minor infinity. You cannot say. There is only one infinity. Yes, there are traditionally few Upanishads alone are studied. There are more than 108 Upanishads in different sections of the Vedas. So different set of body of words that reveals this identity. But then these are studied primarily because Bhagavad Pad Shankaracharya ji has written Bhashya on it. And it becomes very easy for us to understand, easy for us to teach, and easy for us to comprehend, both ways. Therefore, these Upanishads are primarily studied. I mean, most of the people study this. And that's how it got a name, major. But as such, there is no major. The right thing should be popular Upanishads. These are popular. There are so many other Upanishads. Like you might not have heard the name also. Muktiko Upanishad. Kalisantarana Upanishad. I am giving this name because you can connect to them. This mantra which ISKCON guys keep chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. It is only half the mantra. The first line, and then also they have played with the mantra. Original mantra is Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. They have reversed it to make Krishna superior. And Krishna is very superior. You are Krishna. Who is superior? You are Rama. Why are you distinguishing between that? But it is all lack of clarity, That appears in Kalisantarana Upanishad. Given name. So many Upanishads are there. But these are primarily studied, and we have been studying this Upanishad before COVID. Every year we had this Kathopanishad that has 6 cantos, chapters, and we have completed 3. That is, first chapter has 3 subsections, and second chapter has 3. So we are just beginning with second chapter, first canto. We will see that in next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. We'll meet at 11.